Hi guys, so Desmond Swayne, a Conservative MP, asked a Trumpian question in Parliament on Friday. So let's hear what he had to say.
Swayne.
To what extent is there a possibility that it is the exponential increase in testing itself, in identifying genuine new cases, and the very significant possibility of false positives that is giving a distorted impression of the trajectory of the disease?
So, what I mean by Trumpian is that this is the type of comment that Donald Trump has been making for many months now, that because we test more, we are identifying more, and that makes it look like the pandemic is out of control, that we're having huge numbers of cases because we're testing more. So if we actually tested less, we'd have fewer cases, which is a ridiculous argument. It's the idea that, well, you know, if you can't see a fire, then there is no fire. If you close your eyes, then you don't see it, and then it doesn't exist. This is a ridiculous argument, and I wish Matt Hancock would actually point it out in a much more forceful way. He's going to explain this now, but because it's a member of his own party, he treats them with respect. Can you imagine if a Labour Party MP had asked the same question? He'd ridicule them for such a ridiculous question. But because it's a member of his own party, he humours him.
Well, I like my right honourable friend very much, and I wish it were true. The reason that we have the surveillance testing done by the Office for National Statistics is to ensure that we're constantly looking on a national representative sample at what the case rate is, as well as, of course, using the tests. And as we increase the testing numbers, inevitably we'll find more of the cases that are there. That ONS survey published on Friday does show a rise in the numbers, consummate with the rise in the numbers of tests that have come back positive. And that does take into account this point about false positives, which is a very important one.
It's a very important. So yeah, there is some false positives. That's not the issue. False positives are not the issue. You can't just say, well, we have huge numbers of cases because of false positives. No, that's not the case. I know there are people like Desmond Swayne who would like the government to do nothing. They would like the government to just let the virus run rampant. Their idea of dealing with this is either just to lock old people away, lock very sick people away, and let the economy just spring back into action. They have no understanding of how this pandemic is spread, how this virus is spread. They have no understanding of how to deal with it. They don't actually care. Desmond Swayne doesn't care about people getting sick. He doesn't care about businesses suffering. He pretends to. He's probably under a lot of pressure from his constituents. Desmond, why do we have to go into a lockdown again? Desmond, why are we in tier 3? Desmond, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And he's not able to answer it because he doesn't understand how this pandemic is spreading across the world. So he's basically just asking ridiculous questions in the House of Commons. Like, yeah, is it because we're testing more, that's why we have too many numbers? Once again, this is the sort of argument that Donald Trump was making at the beginning, and he's still doing it now. Now, today, on Saturday, it looked like that Boris Johnson is going to announce a lockdown. The time of this recording, he hasn't announced it yet, so I'm going to see about doing a video response to that if I can. As I've said before, a lockdown should have been imposed much sooner. Instead of all these tiers that are not working, you need to impose a lockdown. You need to get the numbers right down, as close as possible to zero, and implement a true functional test, trace, and then isolate. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats, You can chat with me and other patrons where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?